Just as the title suggests, Thaumaturgy is the new meta for crafting, and this is my theory about it. And it's kind of blows my mind a bit that like I've just figured it out now that like what the full potential of Thaumaturgy is in the War Within, and hopefully going forward into the future expansions of World of Warcraft. It's amazing. Like, stay with me on this video. It's a long one, but we're going to go through my thought process and how I'm currently thinking about it. Mind you, everything I say in this video is just my opinion only. I could be totally wrong, but really it's just a showcase on how I'm portraying the information that I'm getting, and it's more or less that. So we'll get straight into it, boys. Got to go to the doctor soon and get my bloody ringworm checked out, man. I need some fucking antibiotics or something, man. It's getting hectic. All right. So the goal of the video, quickly, is to showcase how the Thaumaturgy shuffle operates. You know, why it is the meta now for crafters going forward, in my opinion. And I'll show at the end a practical guide and spreadsheet showcase on how I do my whole routine and that in the game, and just so you can get like a bit of a heads up on kind of like what it looks like to do it, I guess. Okay, so I made an Alchemy Alt Army setup video back in the day before the launch, and it is an Alchemy Army setup, but it has a lot of information in there. So if you do want to go back and check it out just to get more knowledge on how I've thought about Thaumaturgy before the expansion, and how and if you watch it, you see that I went down the completely wrong road, and you'll see in that video my thoughts and all that. But go and check that out. Just type it in, Alchemy Alt Army Setup, on my channel, and you'll see it. It'll come up. But it's got heaps of information, infographics on there, and just to gain more understanding. All right. So, but how does it work, Goldson? How does it work? All right. So, well, basically, it converts a reagent into other reagents for a profit. That's the most simplest explanation I can come up with what Thaumaturgy is, right? But like fundamentally, it's like a material recycler that, you know, sort of equalizes the reagent quantities. Because if you remember in Dragonflight, we had like all the stuff, like the leather and the cloth were like so abundant and so cheap, like it was worth nothing. So they implemented this Thaumaturgy system to essentially try to eradicate that kind of thing happening, because it kind of ruins the market a lot. Like profitability from tailoring was just like really shit, still is now, but even though the changes, but that's another thing. But yeah, basically anything that's high in abundance and cheap, I'm coining it, are doing it. They're going to go up and buy up all the cheap shit and then convert it into stuff that's more sellable. And at the same time, it destroys all of that stuff. So at the same time, it takes that item out of the game the same way it came in. So really, that's just the whole point of, like, it's kind of like a sink, a resource sink, but at the same time, it's putting something back more useful into the economy, which is kind of the incentive structure to keep doing this. Because if we just destroyed it, then no one would give a fuck. But yeah, and also Blasphemite's productions come from performing acts of Thaumaturgy, and I learned that the long and hard way. Okay, so this is an excerpt from that Alchemy Alt Army setup, right? This is sort of like my thoughts, how they'll put in families, and there's 12 reagents and 4 of them aligned to each family. Like you got the ominous, mercurial, and the volatile families, and this is kind of a list of what you got there, right? But let's break it down with an example. We got microbloom. So today's example and the practical, we're going to be using microbloom. So when you can use rank 1 or rank 2 microbloom, it doesn't really matter. It's just whatever's cheapest. And you got to have a full build for all that, but we'll show you that in a sec. Well, not really. I'll show you a bit of that, but like in the practical, I think I'll show it. But really, you need a full build, 230 points, full blue tools, and you're off to the races. But okay, so microbloom. So you're converting rank 1 or rank 2 into bismuth, stormdust, or weathercloth. These are the main. These 4 reagents are in the family, the ominous family, and you can sort of see this. This is a breakdown based on. This is a breakdown of all my stats based on 800,000 microbloom, and you can sort of see we're getting like 17.47. We're in the 17% for the main reagents. So 52%. So just over half. So because we're converting 20 microbloom and we're destroying it and we're replacing it with 10. So we're getting at least 10 back in the form of the new reagents. So we're destroying microbloom, we're creating half the amount, but in these reagents. That's how you see it. There are additional percentages here, not much, probably 10%. So 10%, you get like a bunch of other shit, acarite, gloom, like you can say primarily we get these ones, then medium we get these ones, and then lesser we get these ones. And it depends. Like if we change material to say gloom chitin will be at the top, and then bismuth, and that will be middle, or like it all depends on which one you do. But for this example, we're doing microbloom only. All right, so this is another excerpt from that old army setup. And back in the day, to get to the threshold between rank 1 and rank 2, you needed 375 skill. So that required blue tools, accessories, 230 knowledge points, and you had to be a Kultiran or a goblin to reach 375. But they reduced that by 5. So now you don't need that racial anymore. So which increases the amount of people that can do thaumaturgy. So they changed that. All right, so here, if we do the breakdown from our example, we got additional byproducts, and we got ambers, blastomites, radiant rubies, emeralds. We got basically gems, and blastomites is probably the most expensive, important one here. Because to be honest, these other gems are a loss. Every time you get a gem, it's a loss on your microbloom, because 20 microbloom costs more than these gems. But the blastomites, not so much. So when you hit the when you get enough gleaming transmutagen at the end of your session, you craft blastomites last, and we'll show you that in the practical. But you also get writhing transmutagen, a little bit of battle pet, and you get a shit ton of core catalyst, which is really only used for experimentations and crafting of cauldrons. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's look more like Goldson. Which reagent should I do? And this is sort of, I've tried to blur it out to just trying to so it doesn't overwhelm you too much. But we're basically looking at microbloom rank 1, and then down here at the bottom we got the market price of the other family. So the rank 2 market price of the bismuth, storm dust, and weaver cloth, right? So we got in here, we got this is an average of that price. So we added up the 3 prices, or market prices, and then we divided it by 3, and we got 13.02 gold, right? And then we put that average into here. So we'll look at the first column, the market price. So this is on my spreadsheet. It will just highlight the cell which is the cheapest one out of all of them. So in this case, the cheapest reagent is the microbloom, right, compared to the other ones. And then you work out that family average of the other 3. And then you minus the market price from the family average, and you get a difference. In this case, it's 5 gold 50, and the purple format is just telling me which is the highest number out of all the differences. So I can quickly I'll show you my practical how I input the reagents or the prices from Auctionator, and my spreadsheet just goes, all right, this is the one to do. But this is how you sort of work it out mathematically. Okay, so this example, why it is the meta, this is my opinion only. So you might not agree with this, you might agree with it, I'm not sure if I've got enough time. I might have to re-record this. But in this example, this is based on my data of 800,000 microbloom. So we're only going to take 40,000 of that, and these are the averages of what we get. So we've got all the list of all the stuff we get, and this is roughly on average how much we get from it. And then I've added in the prices, the market prices of it, and then we added up how much it costs. So basically how much we spent, and roughly how much we're going to get back. That's the simple calculation. Okay, so the cost, you can see here, the microbloom only really goes majority into the bismuth, storm dust, and weaver cloth. You can see the prices here. So most of it is in these 3 items. The rest of it is all the other little like the gems and the blastomites and all the other rank 2s. That there's not much of them. So all I've done is I've got the cost, which is what we paid, minus all the other reagents. So pretending we do a session, and then we sell everything except for the bismuth, storm dust, and weaver cloth, right? We sell everything else. We spend a bunch of money, we convert it, we sell everything except for these 3 items, right? And then those other items are worth 60,000 gold. That's including the 5% auction house fee, right? So then we minus that from the initial cost, and we get 253,000, right? So all of these materials, these 3 reagents with all these quantities cost us time to do it, about an hour, but that's how much it cost us to get all these materials. And we'll put that into a diagram just to make it a bit easier. So this top left here, if you can see on the screen now, that's the price. So we technically spent 253,000. If we divide that number by 3, we get 84,551, right? So that's the average of all the 3 reagents. And all I've done is I've divided the quantity by the amount, and then I've got an average price, and then I've put alongside it the auction house price. So you can see here in green is cheaper than the auction house. So in this example, bismuth it's actually cheaper on the auction house to buy than to Thaumaturgy. So that tells me that if I see that, I'll go, okay, and the auction house price is that means bismuth is undervalued, because first principles tell me that this is the easiest way and cheapest way to obtain bismuth other than farming. But like using this method, you can sort of find out if something's overpriced or not based on your data. And you can see here the average price for storm dust, if we do it ourselves, it's like 2 gold, 28 silver less than the auction house price, which is a saving. When you like 2 gold, 28 silver is a massive saving, especially if you're inputting those prices into CraftSim and shit like that. Same with the weaver cloth. It's actually cheaper for us to obtain our weaver cloth through what do you call it? But with bismuth, it's not. So let's look into it a bit more. So okay, let's do the exact same thing what we did, but in this time we sell everything but the bismuth. So we're buying 40,000 microbloom, and we sell everything else except the bismuth, and we still get the same amount of bismuth, but we sell everything else. So the cost minus all other reagents, including the auction house fee, and then the end result is $61,322, right? But we'll put it back into this diagram here so you can better see it. Pause the screen if you want to, but this is just how my flow of thought is going currently. So if it costs us 61,322 gold to get 6,948 bismuth, then we do that division there, and we get an average price of 8 gold 82, right? Which is cheaper than the auction house price. So I think no matter which way you look at it, like you're going to get the cheapest bismuth or any reagent that you want by using Thaumaturgy. But there are caveats to it, and we will go through that. But like just trying to math it out, like it's a bit complicated, really. Like it is too complicated, I agree, but like it's super complicated. Like it's the most complicated thing I've ever seen, like in the game. But if you look at it simply, right, like, and for you, like, if you want to benefit from this, you just make it a rule that you for all of your reagents instead of buying them, right? So, like, if you need, if you're starting off and say your war bank's completely empty and you want to like fill up that war bank, like normally you would go, oh, I'll just buy a stack off the auction house and buy everything off the auction house. But if instead you use Thaumaturgy and say you buy 40k microbloom, 40k gloom chitin, like you just buy 40k of each and then spend 3 hours and Thaumaturgy all of it and then put it all in your war bank, then essentially you have the cheapest materials that you can obtain with gold. But obviously you have to put time into it. So we're not really factoring in your time, and we shouldn't really, because that's just everyone values their time differently, right? But like if you do it this way, you can save 5% on top of your difference in materials. So 5%, you're not buying, you're saving the 5% auction house fee, because obviously people are going to put a 5% markup on their shit on the auction house. So by doing it yourself, you're saving 5% on all your materials. So 5% of like 100 million gold is 5 million gold. So you're saving money, but you got to obviously it all depends on your on how you on your perspective on whether you want to save a little or a lot. I don't know, but you know, if you do it this way, I think you're going to have cheaper prices. And if you do right for all your shit, then you go, all right, I'm going to take all this stuff and I'm going to make it into something, and I put the price overrides into Craft Sim. And technically, if I do it properly and I get my reagents at the cheapest price possible, then you're super competitive with anything you craft. If you add a concentration on top of that, it's even more profit. So like it's like adding so many different savings together in one thing. You know what I mean? Like it's like 1% here, 2% here, and you just add it all together in the equation of starting from scratch, doing like buying materials off the auction house, all your shit, getting your shit, then making stuff with it, and then adding fucking concentration on top of that to increase the value even further, and then sell it. Then it's just mind blows it. It's like, whoa, okay, like this is getting way complicated, but it's good. But like the good thing about complicated things in the game, which I like personally, is the fact that you can simplify it. You know, take something super complicated and then just simplify it. So my method of simplification is to make a rule going forward. If I want 20,000 lure drop, I'll just go to my sheet and go, okay, I need to buy this amount of fucking Gloomkite, and I'm just gonna everything. I'm gonna sell the Blastomites. I'm gonna sell the gems. I'm gonna keep the rest of it. All the other stuff I'm gonna get rid of. But if you do that, like you could just, to even simplify it again, just buy like that's my alarm to go to the doctor. But I'll wrap this up quickly and then we'll go into the practical. So stay tuned for the practical. It's a bit longer, and we go through how I do it, and we talk about it a bit along the way. But just note that what you're about to see is like pre-recorded, like from a couple of hours ago. So, but it just totally blows my mind, and yeah, I'm excited. But take something complicated, use first principles, and try and break it down to the most easiest method first. And that to me is to make sure everyone gets the Thaumaturgy Alchemist. Thaumaturge all your materials, and then craft your own shit, and then sell it. But the only way, I've got one more slide quick. So quickly, if you've got the capital, you can save and make more gold. It's the same in the real world. The more money you got, the more money you can save. It's the practical example of you're rich, you can afford solar panels, battery, electric cars, all that shit for your house, and you pay less in bills overall. So the poorer you are, the more money you pay. If you're rich in real life, you can buy bulk. If you're poor, you only buy the expensive individual items. It's so stupid. It needs to be changed, but like that's the way it is at the moment. It is more tedious to procure your reagents, and the barrier to entry is high. But my philosophy going forward is to try and minimize the cost and increase profitability no matter how minor. Then calculate the gains each week with my proof of gold video segment and track it over time. So I simplify it, and instead of like counting every single session how much gold I made and adding it all up, I just make sure I do it in the most efficient way possible going forward, and then calculate and track it every week over time. And you'll see that in the weekly Tuesday episodes, the weekly gold cap. I've got to run now, but enjoy the rest of the video and have a great weekend, guys. I'll see you later. All right, fellas. The theory is all done now. So we're sort of going to move into the game and show you a practical example of how I find out what material to thaumaturge, essentially. And it's quite simple for me now that I've got it all set up. So we'll go into the game. All right, so we're on an alt here, or it's my banking tune. And what I do, I open up Auctionator, do a bit of a scan, I guess. All right, so I've got a shopping list here in Auctionator, and it's called Rank 1 Mats. And I click on that button, and it just searches all of the Rank 1 materials that Thermit plays with. So there should be 12 here. And I just export it. So I export results, and then I copy and paste. And then I'll nip over to my spreadsheet now. All right, so this is my spreadsheet, and I got this green box here. So I'll just hide the camera just so you can see the whole thing, right? So I'll click on the cell here, F2, and then Control V, and you see how it sort of imports. You can see it's black at the moment, but I color it black just so I don't have to see it. But basically I'm just pasting that auctionator string in here, and then using a split function, it basically puts the name and then the price, right? And but there's a bit more to it. So you can sort of see, if we look at the left-hand side, just focus on the 3 main columns, I guess, or rows, and you can see the blue. See how it's blue? I've got Microbloom rank 1 is the cheapest out of all 4. So the blue one just highlights what's the cheapest material in that family. Okay, so it's always going to be Microbloom, Gloom Chitin, and Storm Charged Leather. If anything changes, this thing will tell us. So if we want like, I guess, Storm Charged Leather that does Lure Drop, Auburn, and right, so you can see here. So Storm Charged Leather will turn into Lure Drop, Auburn. So if you want either one of these, that's what you instead of buying it at full price, you would buy the Storm Charged Leather, and then you would Thaumaturgy that, and then the results would give you the Acarite, Lure Drop, and Auburn. It will definitely give you the cheapest Acarite, Lure Drop, and Auburn, even cheaper than where you can buy it off the auction house. So like, it's like going forward, this is going to be the meta for obtaining reagents the cheapest way possible, which is it's just adding another complexity to like crafters, because before it'd be like, oh, if you gather your materials off the auction house, you're paying you're paying a 5% markup, straight off the bat. And I guess if you're using Thaumaturgy, you're using that profitability from Thaumaturgy to buy cheaper materials. It's wild, man. It's so wild. I should make a spreadsheet that shows me how to convert a bunch of materials. Like, buy a bunch of materials, convert it all, and then turn it into stuff that I actually use and sell, which would be pretty awesome. But anyway, we got to go back. We got to go back. We have to get the value, to know exactly for sure which one's the better one to use out of these 3. We have to put in more price input. So this one is the rank. We go back into the game here, and I've got another shopping list called Thaumaturgy reagents, which this is basically every reagent from Thaumaturgy. So this is a list of all the stuff that you can get from doing that. And all I do is export the results again. Control C, and then we'll go into the spreadsheet, and same again. I'll click on the box, copy paste, and you see how it's populated here. So I can just go with what is on the market, and that includes bait auctions. But what I've done, I've made an override box here. So if it's something that's specific, like if I'm doing Microbloom, I check the price of bismuth, the blastamites, and the storm dust, and the weave cloth, just because those are the high ticket items. So sometimes a bait auction will stuff this up. So let's say it's saying bismuth is 9 gold 79, and if we click on it in game, 9 gold 79. So that's right. So there's no bait auctions on that, because we're using an average of the first 1,000. And then storm dust is saying 1448. So we click on storm dust, 1448, and then weaver cloth 1479. So it looks pretty good, because the prices have come down so much. I think all the betas are stopping, which is good. But because we put in all that material now, we can go back to the rank 1 mats spreadsheet, and this is basically telling us whatever's the highest difference here is the most profit. So Storm Charged Leather, Gloom Chitin are both 3 gold 77. You see here, they're both 3 gold 77. So they're lower, but the Microbloom is giving 5 gold 5 difference. And the difference is the average. So remember how it's 33% that goes into like whatever is Microbloom will split 33% bismuth, storm dust, or weaver cloth. It's the same with the other families. Whichever one you pick, it will go into 33% of all the other ones. So all I've done is got the price, the average of that, and then whatever's the biggest difference between the average and the lowest price is that's the one we do. So it's telling me Microbloom to go ahead and do Microbloom. So I'll just go ahead and do that. But I do look at it later. I'll show you later. But this is a quick shot of the screen that I use. But I do talk about it more after I do all the processing shit. So, but really, I'll show you how I buy it. So I'll go back to shopping list, and I've got microbloom here as a shopping list. So I'll click search, and they'll just search all the microbloom. And so you can, it doesn't matter which microbloom you use, you just use the cheapest one. So if we click on microbloom rank 3, it's 11 gold 6 average for 40,000. If we click on number 2, 7 gold 94. So that right off the bat, we're not using rank 3. We're going to use rank 2. So it's 7 gold 94. And let's just check microbloom rank 1. 7 gold 78. So rank 1 microbloom is the cheapest, and it only costs 311,000. So let's say it's 7 gold 78. So in the spreadsheet, I'm going to buy 7 gold 78. So I'll put that in here on the right hand side, you can see, and then it'll calculate how much it's worth. So according to my sheet, it's saying it's 119% profit, but that's only considering half of it. So let's say we bought that. So we buy 778, and then the next lot we just buy 793 worth. Because if we buy out the first lot, that's going to push the price up to 8 gold 30. Like we buy all that. The rank 1 prices are going to be more expensive. So we'll go ahead and buy up the rank 2s, which will be 7 gold 91. So we go back to the sheet, type in 7 gold 91. We do this again later on in the video, but just for sake of repetition, this is how I do it. So you can see here, it's just added up the cost. So I've spent 627,000 gold on microbloom, rank 1 and rank 2 together. So 40k of each, which gives me an average buy price of 7 gold 85. And all I've done is I've transferred that 7 gold 85 into this column, and I've bought 80,000. So it's telling me that it's 11.37% profitability. And don't worry about all these numbers, I'll talk about that later, and the statistics behind it. But that's essentially what I do. Like I'll wake up in the morning and I'll wake up in the morning, I'll pretend like I'm buying 80,000 worth of microbloom. Or first of, like at the start of it, I would do a scan, but like microbloom's been the top performer the whole time, and it's got a higher sell rate for the materials, so we use microbloom. So I'll come in the morning, scan this, and I'll just see how much it costs. Then I'll input the prices into this sheet, and if this is green, then we're good to go. So let's for example, we change it to 9 gold and then 9 gold 50. So boom, it's automatically changed to the red. So like you only really do thaumaturgy if the price is right, you know what I'm saying? So if it's red, we're not doing thaumaturgy, and if it's green, we're doing thaumaturgy. And this is factoring in the 5% auction house fee already. So if we bought 80,000, if we spent, you have to say, the thing is you have to have money to do this. If you have 627,000 gold in capital sitting in your bank, which most goblins do, like $1 million gold is nothing, then you've got the capital to make an extra, 11%, right? So that's considering if you're selling it straight on the auction house, you know what I'm saying? But going forward, we're definitely going to be using this to buy, instead of buying reagents cheap off the auction house, we're just going to buy the cheapest reagent, turn it into what we need, and then instead of selling it, we're just going to use it and sell the final product later, which is wild. But yeah, we're going to cut to the processing segment, the last bit of the video, the longest part. So yeah, stay tuned. We're going to go through it all, and hopefully by the end of the video, you're going to know exactly how this thing works, this machine. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. Get your thaumaturgy alts ready. And a quick stupid one, like, you need 230 knowledge points to get each of these alts up and running, and the blue tools. And silly me, I've gone and done that on all 92 of my fucking alts. I should have just made 2 thaumaturgy specialists and the rest put them into flask file crafters using concentration. I'm a fucking idiot. But when the respec comes in, all my thaumaturgy alts are going to switch across to flasks and files. But eventually, all of my alchemy alts are going to be fully decked out in both, so it's not going to really matter. A lot of work, a lot of effort, but I like the grind, and I like being able to do things at a moment's notice. But yeah, let's move on. Okay, so we're in the game. We are processing, what was it, 80,000 microbloom this morning. I bought 40,000 microbloom on one account, and on the second account, which I got here, I'll bring it across. Oh wait, there we go. So we got one account doing rank 2 microbloom because they're roughly the same price. So instead of buying 80,000 worth of microbloom rank 1, I'll just split it up and buy 40k of each. It's actually cheaper. So just take note, we got the Weaver's buff, and we've got the quick file of quick hands totaling 75% crafting speed. So just a quick tip for a reminder, you can see we're in the causeway just out near the city. Like the frames are pretty low, but I find if I close my bag and if I click off the specializations tab, which changes significantly the amount of frames per second, and you can sort of roughly see how much time we got left. It says we've got 15 minutes. To do 40k microbloom takes about 1 hour and 5 minutes with this buff. So here's the second one. So see, we're at 33 frames, 39, 65 down the bottom here, and if we close the bags it will increase. See, it's over 100 frames now. If we click specializations, it'll just go up. Which I find it's easier to do it that way. But yeah, essentially, like from the theory part of it, we basically just chuck it into the recycler, Thaumaturgy, and hit the button. Really, we've got we got all the stuff for it, the spec, I guess. So how many points? I'm pretty sure all up it's about 230 knowledge points. So it's 105. 75, is it? Craft Sim's not taking in transmute. So this transmutation, it says improve your understanding of fundamentals of transmutation, gaining 1 skill per point in the specialization. So this is 30 points. Craft Sim's not taking an account for it, because if you add it up, it's 105, 180. Yeah, it's only accounting for 200 points. Whereas it's missing 30 out of 30 for the transmutation, because it all adds up to the skill of is it now 745? It was 750, but they reduced it by 5 just so everyone can do it now. But at the start, obviously, only a cool Tyrian or goblins could fucking do it, which kind of made it a bit shit. And in my mind, I was thinking, like, before the expansion, I was like, oh man, I gotta like get all my alts, all my 92 alts, 275 points, full tools, cool Tyrian. I wanted to transfer all of my characters to become cool Tyrian so I can transfer rank 1 into rank 2, and like looking back at it now, I'm like, man, that's so dumb, like such an idiot. I should have just had 2 dodgy guys and that's it, and the rest I should have put points. Because you think about it, I got like 180 points here. I should have put 180 points in here, because 180 points, if you don't know, is filling up these 4 nodes here in Alchemical Mastery, 40 points each. 40, 80, 160, and I guess you can put points into there, but like really putting all the points in here and then chucking it into fantastic flasks or I guess fantastic flasks or vials, chucking it in there would have been a way better use of concentration. Because me sillingly had the idea of like using concentration to turn materials into rank 3 materials, but I never knew. I always thought like the rank 3 materials are always going to be like expensive, like worth something. But now that with the prices coming down and the shuffling aspect of it, we kind of already know the price, like because Thaumaturgy is going to like equalize all the reagents over time, and then really just times the herbs by 5. Same with the ores, you just refine it up to the rank 3, which is kind of wild to me, But like, it's good to know all this now. And like, when apparently in the patch 10.0.7 was supposed to have the specialization respec for the profession knowledge points, which would have been pretty awesome, man. Because then I wouldn't need I could use all the points that I've already accumulated on my 92 olds, right? I could have like transferred them all to making flasks and files. I'm looking at it now. I'm hoping to do that before like the Bountiful Seasons file comes into play. which is this one here. File of bountiful seasons. I can't click on it for now. Oh yeah, there you go. I wonder if that's still gonna... Yeah, I can still Thaumaturgy. But yeah, this one switches over to like resourcefulness from finesse, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna do it like when this Feast of Winter Veil begins. Because I don't know, it could be then, it could be here. I'm not too sure. Like what I should do is open one of those files every day just to like test it, I guess. We might as well test it now, eh? Let's open. I've got someone for some. There we go. So we've got one. I'll just open it now. It's still increasing finesse. Oh well. We should do it every day until we know exactly the date that it pops. So we'll go back to Thaumaturgy, Microbloom, and see how long that's got. Let's go check the other account, because the other account's cooking still. Okay, it's got 8 minutes to go before it chunks through all the Microbloom. This account is about 6 minutes to go, so we'll stay on this one. I'll just skip to when it's done, but like I'll just touch on like what we said in the theory part of it. We'll show you that the next step is to like break down the transmutagen after that. And then once all that's broken down, then the last one would be the gleaming. Yeah. I just want to take your eyes to the screen now. This one here, I'm just showing you, this is my Microbloom tab. You can sort of see at the bottom, if I take my camera away, like this is my sheet. I've added some stuff on here. Like these ones are just random, but really, this is a record. This is my record sheet, so you can take this however you want it. But this is based on 800,000 Microbloom. So in the orange section here, that's the totals, and each column is a session. So 40,000 Microbloom, 40,000, and all I've done, these are all. So effectively, this is like I guess 20 sessions. Crafting sessions. So this is about 10 hours worth. So you could say 10, 11 hours work of Thaumaturgy. And I think that's enough data to, what do you call it? Like to know if it's profitable or not. So all I've done is that I put 40,000, right? And then whatever results come out of it by using my process, I just record it in here. And then I add it all up, right? So then I transfer all this data up to here. So orange to orange. So on the left hand side, I've put 800,000. So this row here is transferred over, and then I've put in here this yellow box here. This is like the box that shows me what price I bought it at. So it's saying I bought 80,000, or it's simulating 8 gold, 17 silver, right? And if I go across, so this one's 800,000, the second column is 80,000, then the third one is 40,000, because I buy 40,000 at a time. So if I'm only doing one account, I'll just buy 40,000, but you can sort of see 40,000 equals 29,600 gold after the 5% auction house fee. And all I've done is get to 80,000, then divided it by 10, divided these results by 10, and then these results, the 40,000 is just divided by 2 to these ones. So if I could sit there and add all this together and put it back in one column and start and do it every single time. Like every time I do it, just keep recording it and just getting more data on it. So obviously the more data, the more accurate the average is, right? And you can see here I've highlighted in blue bismuth, storm dust, and weaver cloth, because that's your main family from Microbloom. And you can see here, I'll highlight it blue. You can see that it yields the highest amount. So Microbloom turns into bismuth, storm dust, and weaver cloth, and it's pretty accurate. So this is 138,000. 138,000, 138,000, all within 130. So you could say that it's 33% that it breaks down to in terms of percentages. But we don't really need to know that. But yeah. So what it's saying, if I bought all my Microbloom at 8 gold 17, it would have cost me 6.5 million, and with the return on investment, I would have made 592,000 gold. So, and over here on the right hand side. Go back to the camera. Hello. So on the side here, I don't really need to change that. So because if you know anything, yellow box means it's the box to edit. The rest you just leave. So because I buy 40,000 at a time, I put in the price that I bought it at. So 8 gold 16, and it sort of adds it up. And then on the second account, I'll go and buy another lot, and then it'll be, if it's not this, like I'll just type in the price, and then the blue box shows me my total average price, so 8 gold 17. And then over here, I can either type it in manually or just project this box over here to here, and that automatically puts it into this thing. So, and if I want to get real spicy, I buy 80k of each. I'll just put in the data here, and then this box will give me the average. So if I go 9 gold, 10 gold, whatever, the average is still 8 gold 84. So if we bought all different prices and we go 8 gold 84, we can just project that, put that cell into there, and it'll tell us. So it's saying if we buy it at 8 gold 84, we're 1% profitable. So we're still profitable, but basically it's only profitable because of the blasphemy. I think at this, if we really got down to 1% margins, we're really only doing this to get blasphemy. And I think at that point it's going to be a bit silly, because the most efficient way of creating a blasphemite wouldn't be doing thaumaturgy. It would be doing it by the daily login and the trans. But anyway, I think that's enough for that. We can get out of that. We'll go back. We'll just project it back. So we're back to 9%. I've seen it up. The highest I've seen it is 20%. 18, 19, 20%. Okay, so this shit's done. Been talking for too long. So we basically go straight into the ominous transmutagen, and we just send that because we got the most. You can see here we got the call-away catalyst, which is just a byproduct. These writhing transmutations, again, byproduct. So we just send that for a while. So that'll take a little bit. So we'll go check on the other account. The other account should be, the other account's got 40 seconds to go. So we might as well chill here. After I record this video, I'm going to do my my patron orders and concentration spend on one account. Today, and then tomorrow I've got my enchanting scribes to be done. And then on Saturday I got this account to do. Okay, so that's all done. Cool. Now we can transmute the ominous transmutagen, and we'll gun through that. But you can see here on the right hand side, I don't have my cursor trail on, sorry, but in the bags, anything at the bottom of the bags, you want one of each transmutagen, and that's basically just so it's just a bit easier to funnel it through. That's just how I'm doing it anyway. I normally delete these writhing transmutagens, so I just delete. Normally I delete it at the end because they're so common, they're like worthless. I'm thinking with these vials of bountiful seasons, because I made these with concentration, I might just save them. I was selling them, but I might just save them because they're definitely going to go up. Because and depending on how long they last for, if they last for like a while, like if it's 6 months and 6 months, which kind of makes sense, then every single crafter is going to want to have this buff up all the time. Like you'd want this during any mass crafting in general. So maybe I just start using my concentration just to stockpile the shit out of these, and then when it goes up, I'll just stop, or maybe just keep making it. But you can see here my week, the bottom here, we got 5 more concentration, so that's what, 30 minutes. Yeah, it says 30 minutes, and then we're fully decked out, and then we can spend our shit. But we'll skip to the when all this ominous transmutagen's done. Alrighty, so it's nearly done. It's nearly cooked. So we've done most of the ominous, so next would be mercurial transmutagen. So that's the ominous done. We just click on this, select mercurial, and then we transmute all of that. And even though there's mercurial transmutagen in my reagent bag and all this stuff, like it doesn't matter. It'll take the stuff from the reagent bag first, then it'll just go from the top of the bags down, and then because we put the 4 transmutagen here, it doesn't really matter. It's all going to end up here. The last bit of transmutagen is always going to be in the bottom of your bags. Well, that's what I've found anyway. I don't know why I'm not deleting this callaway catalyst, because it's kind of free gold, but I'm just like banking it up, I guess. Don't know why, but yeah, that's got a couple of minutes. So the second account is cooking, so we're nearly done on that. It's really good having 2 transmute guys on 2 accounts, because the more that you can churn through in an hour, or the quicker, because we'll think about it like this: as the margins come down, like when the price is right, you want to be able to churn through all that stuff, reagents, really quickly and then put it back on the auction house as fast as possible, because the longer you wait, the prices might change and then you lose profitability. So like, if I had another 2 accounts, I would have 4 dodgy guys going at the same time, which would be pretty cool, to be honest. I should get another 2 accounts. I kind of want to get another 2 accounts, but I won't deck them out full of alts. I'll probably just have like the professions on it. So like when midnight comes and we do the profession shuffle and all that good stuff, we're definitely going to be like pumping on 4 accounts, just crafting gold and like just doing all the stuff that I didn't do this time around, that I know now. I know now how it all works. I'm pretty sure I can work it out and execute it. It seems quite easy now that I think about it, but like, because I've never done profession shuffling before, I never really thought about it like that. But obviously it is expensive, and I kind of like the aspect that it's a race at the start. And it makes sense. It's like a race into a marathon. So I'll be definitely keen for that. All right. We'll just wait an extra second. Then we do the last one. The last one would be the volatile All right, the volatile's next. So we just transmute that. We basically just do that all the way. All right. So basically we're just churning through all the transmutagen now. So whatever's highest, we just keep doing that. And you can notice here in the bags, I've got the microbloom here, because we do get microbloom from it. We might as well just transmute the microbloom while we're here. I didn't do it when I made the stat page, but it just makes sense to do it now. So we just keep transmuting. So we've got a couple more crafts to do, and then we're done. We can move on to the blastomides. All right, so that's done. Then we'll do the microbloom. There's 3 crafts of that. Might as well. Okay, we've got 1 more to go. Boom. All right, so that's all done now. So all we have left is the Gleaming Glory. The Gleaming Glory blastomide. But basically all the gleaming transmutagen from that process that took like an hour and 5 minutes, we just make more of them. Oh, here's a quick one. There we go. So this is what I crafted sheet for the week, and it's basically what I write down. So at the bottom I got a little blastomite thaumaturgy calculator. So I put in 66 because that's how many blastomites we're going to get from that one process. And if I do a few of them throughout the day, I'll add it up. And then at the end of the day, I'll just take this number and then I'll put it up here where the blastomites are. That should be there. That should be right there. Blastomites I should make it purple. So far we've made 591 blastomites since Tuesday, I guess. But we'll go back. So all the blastomites done, and now we will go to the second accounts and finish this one off. And then, like once both accounts are finished off, I'll send all the materials to let's say Goldson, the main, and then we'll sell them. I kind of want to show you that I'm selling all my blastomites too, like the ones I had in my bank. Even though I want to keep them, but because I did the market poll the other week, people said just get rid of them. I kind of want to go with consensus on that one. So it I'm still selling them at a profit, mind you. So there's no stress. Oh shit! All right, that should be all of it. Okay, Gleaming Glory. We got 67 blastomites. So I'll go back to my sheet, type in 67 at the bottom. Ooh. And if we go to, where is it? Where's this sheet? I had it here. My dollar cost average. So this is the sheet of all the blastomites I bought. So the average, they did go up to 500, but I basically spent 206 gold on each blastomite. So if I sell them for above 206 gold, then we're laughing, I guess. All right. So as these blastomites are done, we're going to send it all to Goldson. I think it's sending it in the mail is quicker than doing a trade, even though we're like right next to each other. Hello. Okay, so I'll jump up on the brooder. Hello. And it's actually quicker to send you all this shit. There we go. It's all done. So we can log off this account, and we'll just, because we've got the mail here, we'll just open the mail. So then this account's got all the materials, and we just sell it on one account. Okay. So selling, you just sell it. I'll just use Auctionator. There's so many materials on the market, man, because of Thaumaturgy. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool, actually. Like the price is just going to keep going down to the marginal price of production, like anything does, really, which is good. That shows you the market's working. It's doing its thing. Just going to post. We're just posting at market. I don't really care. Just send it. I just got to make sure. I just got to keep my eye out for bait auctions. That's all I'm looking for. If I see a bait auction, I'll just... See, we're selling at 312, so we're still up. So we might as well sell them all. The blastomites I'm talking about. Selling. And it has come to my attention that like doing this, like Thaumaturgy, you know how we had like 33%? Should I keep them? No, I'll sell them. Okay. Because you're getting 33%, then like that kind of makes it so the cheapest materials you use for crafting are the ones you get from Thaumaturgy, which is wild. That means everyone has to be a Thaumaturgy, because like if the competition is to, we'll just withdraw 1,000 blastomites because I'm selling extra 1,000 a day just to get rid of them. I'll probably kick myself later for selling them all, but oh well, fuck it. So we'll just sell. I won't cancel those ones. I'll just leave them on. But yeah, we're pretty much full on concentration now, so we can go straight into the patron orders and the gleamings and all that. I should have orders, but I hope like this video is like kind of like enlighten you on how Thaumaturgy works, I guess. But in conclusion, microbloom is the most profitable by far, and it's got the highest sell rate of the materials that it produces. But I will use the other ones like Storm Charged Leather and the Gloom Chitin to make my own materials. If I need like Lure Drop, or I need like a herb at rank 2 and I need it cheap. And to be honest, with the file of Bountiful Seasons coming in soon, like that's gonna be like the meta. We're gonna have that file. We're going to have to thaumaturge the cheapest material to get the cheapest material that we're going to use to craft, like items in the game to sell, or even to craft items for yourself to then use concentration to turn into items to sell. Like it's wacky, it's wild, it's totally changed everything. It's kind of cool, like the concept of how it is. And it feels like if they keep this, it's going to be like this for every expansion. It kind of makes sense because Thaumaturgy takes off all the cheaper items off the economy, essentially raising it up. It's sort of it's equalizing the rates. So, and if Blizzard want to be, if they want to increase the economy, all they have to do is reduce the spawn rates of the cheapest materials, like make the drop rate a bit lower, so there's like less coming into the market. So they really only have to look at a few items and the whole economy will like adhere to that change, which is a way smarter way to balance the economy in game. So whoever came up with Thaumaturgy is either a genius or they stole it from another game, not too sure, possibly, but like the theory of it is pretty cool, man. Like it's impressive. So stay tuned. We got more videos coming up probably next week. I'm writing down on a bit of paper, just like as I'm playing the game, I come up with video ideas like, oh cool, and if I write it down on paper, like I'll remember it. And then like I'll sort of do things subconsciously to make the video happen. I guess that's how content creation works. It's like having the idea and then putting it into video form. I don't know. Like I'm still new to this shit, but I'm willing to learn and I'm determined to keep going. Like I don't want to stop. It's kind of too fun, man, in my opinion. But yeah, I guess I was gonna say give the video a like and a subscribe, but I normally don't do that. And to be honest, I don't want to do it. I think it's stupid because it's like you're telling your audience that they're stupid. If they like it, they'll like it. If they want to subscribe, they'll subscribe. If they want to follow you, they'll follow you. So I reckon it's. But like I know, if you're catering to the NPCs out there, and you just want to take advantage of that, go ahead. But that's really not my prerogative. But anyway, I'll see you later, boys. Have a good weekend. I'll see you on Monday, Tuesday for sure. And yeah, have a good one.